This is a First Alert Weather Special Report.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for checking in with us at this this very early hour with myself and with Vanessa over there. We're going to try to talk you through everything, so you have a very clear understanding of what's going on out there. Vanessa, I'll kick things off if you don't mind.
Of course, please do.
Then we'll go right into it. So here's the deal, guys. This is the picture outside the CBS Broadcast Center. Snow is coming down, 30 degrees outside. If you take a look at our timeline, right now, until 8 o'clock, this is the worst of the storm. Some of you will experience snowfall rates of 2 to maybe even 3 inches per hour, and the winds are kicking in. At 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, the snow is slowly, trying to make that real clear, slowly with the asterisks, snow is slowly tapering off. It's not a constant snow. Now there's going to be some breaks in the action at times. Still windy, however, all the way through 1 p.m. And then from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., that's where the final flakes will fly, depending on where you live. The blizzard warning is still in play all the way until 6 p.m., even if the snow stops. Right, with the wind still blowing out there, it could pick up that snow that's already fallen and still give you blizzard conditions. So we keep that warning up until 6 p.m. Here's your current situation, and we've got these rounds of dark blue, which is those areas that have the heavy, the 1 inch, 2 inch rain, snowfall rates coming on shore. Vanessa, is your mic open over there? Have you heard of any snowfall rates over the 2 inch?
That is the maximum we've heard so far, yeah. Lonnie, right? So and we're hoping for thunder snow. That has yet to happen either. So I'm losing hope.
For those of you, okay, who are into this sort of thing, like Vanessa and I, Vanessa, take them through thunder snow just quickly, because it's a real heavy snow that's coming down at that point in time. Yeah,
if we get thunder snow, we're talking 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches per hour, right, Lonnie? And also the other interesting thing is that it really muffles the sound of thunder. In summertime, the thunder can travel for miles and miles, but in a snowstorm, it's only about 3 miles because the snow is coming down so heavily out there. And Lonnie had up the radar, so do I, because we really want to hone in on some of these heavier bands falling. Because right now, as we mentioned, about up to 2 inches per hour is falling. So, Matt, if you will, go ahead and zoom on in for me. What we see here is some of our heaviest snow falling through Mahwah right now. You can see this line extends all the way up into Dutchess County, back down through essentially maybe all the way into Warren County, really. You see that deep purple here just south of Raritan. So this line will continue to lift in the northwesterly direction. But what we're noting with this snowstorm is it is having a lot of trouble making its way all the way into Sullivan County. So we're very devoid of snow.
What do you think about that as far as totals are concerned, Vanessa, for Sullivan County?
Well, we know, Lonnie, right? We have already adjusted our snowfall maps. I don't know if you have it up over on your side of things, but yeah, the fact that snow is not looking hot up here is really having us say, we think it's closer to 6 to 12 here, maybe 8 at most.
Which is, it's not nothing, Vanessa.
Not at all, but compared to our other numbers that we are holding strong with, Lonnie, it's a big difference.
But you know, Vanessa, when you look at how the Futurecast is picking up on the current situation out there, and you were just talking us through where the bands are right now, so I think this is a pretty good, wouldn't you say, Vanessa?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good
representation of what's out there right now. So watch, gang, as this, okay, look, you can see there's your counterclockwise spin, the center of your storm, right? Big sort of center out there. It's sort of centered right now off of Delaware. What's going to happen? This will be pushing up to the north and east. It goes east of Nantucket. As it does so, all the while, this moisture shield is going to be all snow for us the entire time. So let's put it into motion. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. Here we go. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3:35, 6:30, 7:30. I mean, come on. This is all the way until like lunchtime. Now, at lunchtime, it's clearly breaking up. But from now until 7, Vanessa, wouldn't you say like 7 a.m., it's a pretty solid line of snow that's out there.
Yeah, we're feeling really confident. It's going to be those bands of heavy snow followed by much lighter snow. And then once again, that heavy snow will roll on through. And in fact, we can even see that so clearly, Lonnie. You're looking at the Futurecast model. I have the current satellite picture, rather radar picture. And that center of low, as you mentioned, just off of Delaware. And the big picture really shows how we have the deep purples followed by the light snow and then another band of deep purple. And yes, 7 a.m., we're still seeing this pattern persist as the storm continues to strengthen and move in the northeasterly direction up toward Rhode Island.
You know, Vanessa, as I look at the image that you've got there, I mean, you can almost probably trace it with your fingers, all the different bands of heavy blue that are out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 or so right there, that what you're showing us. So each one of those will come through. There's another one right behind it, and that's why when you look at the snow totals, I think we're going to be adding to that by quite a bit. I think we end up, Vanessa, in that 12 to 18 inch range. for a good portion of the area, including a good chunk of the city. Most
yeah,
of the
we're
city.
feeling confident about it.
12 to 18, because we're already, Vanessa, the biggest number. What do we have right now in Staten Island?
I mean, we're talking about already 12 inches in Staten Island, and that report is getting a little old now, right?
Yeah.
It's probably an hour old.
We've got a new reading.
So we love the numbers.
A new reading just came in from Central Park that we're at 8.8 in Central Park.
Right.
So the idea of getting to a foot, I think is going to happen because we've picked up that snow since about 4 o'clock. All right, 4 o'clock, it was very light, some flurries out there, got a little stronger. 9 o'clock or so, it shifted gears. It became heavier out there. So we've picked up 9 to 10 to 11 to 12 to 1. We picked up about 4 hours, right, of some good snow. Well, you know what? You got another 6 hours of that. And I think you can get into that healthy 12 to 18 inch range, including the city, maybe portions of the city here, Vanessa. Farther south you go and east you go, maybe you land in that 18 to 24 inch range. But like you said, up north, we took this gray line, Vanessa and I and Matt, we lowered it down because I just don't think we're going to be seeing the 12 to 18s up in portions of Sullivan, Ulster, Dutchess County. I think it's more like a 6 to 12 inch range, which quite honestly, it was holding off at like 8 to 12, but it was way up along the northern fringes. So we brought that down a bunch. That's the 6 to 12, 12 to 18 in the midsection, and then you're 18 to 24 up to the east and down to the south.
Yeah, let's talk about, Lonnie, can we just talk about 18 to 24? Because I was getting a little concerned that maybe 24 was not achievable.
Not going to verify, right?
However, then we crunched the numbers just before we came to you live on air, and we discovered...
You know what? Wait, keep talking, Vanessa. No, I'm going to go get those numbers. I'm going to get those numbers.
Okay, Lonnie's going to go get those numbers. As he does so, I will explain that especially on the east end of the island and for some localized areas in Jersey, like Howell, New Jersey, we do see up to that 24-inch potential. We have... approaching a foot in places like East. Lonnie's coming back. He's got his numbers tallied up. All right, Lonnie, break it down for us. What have we seen?
So when you look at all the different computer models out there, right, they're giving you a number, right, and they keep adjusting as the storm progresses. But they're only giving you a number from that point in time. They're not taking into consideration the snow that's already fallen. So maybe they're picking up on a dry slot. Maybe they're picking up on a real influx of some heavy snow. So just so you know, I'll go through just New York City right here. The European is now putting a grand total, considering we already have 8.8 inches on the ground. The European gives us 15.9 inches. The GFS gives us 18 inches. The NAM gives us 20.9. The graph gives us 17 inches. So we're right in that 12 to 18 inch range. That's for New York City. The biggest numbers that we see anywhere look to be out east. So I'll go through this quickly. Montauk, according to the GFS, 23 inches, Euro 17.0, NAM 19.0, NAM is 26.9, the graph 22.6. As for the Jersey Shore, let's say Belmar, GFS is going to go 21.8, Euro 17.4, NAM 21.4, graph 17.5. So that, the Jersey Shore and the East End are both in that 18 to 20, we've been saying 18 to 24. I've got here 18 to 20, well, actually I got a 26.9.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's there. I think it's there. And again, we're going to crunch these, what are we going to do? I'm going to crunch those numbers again when we get a couple of hours more deep into the storm.
Right.
But right now, the numbers are already on the ground. I mean, look at these numbers.
It's exciting.
I mean, Dongan Hills, Staten Island comes in at 12 inches even. Battery Park, you're 11 inches. All right, Ridge, New York, 10.1. East Hampton. End of the Hamptons, Vanessa, 9.5 on the ground right now. Colts Neck, New Jersey, 9.2. Lakewood, New Jersey, 8 inches on the ground. What comes next? Let's see what we've got. Because another snow report comes in from...
the city.
Wait.
Around the city. How about Battery Park picking up 11 inches already, Lonnie? That's
Where did that just go to? It was there and it disappeared.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I bet you. Oh, there we go. All right. So now we'll go to our next map here. Maddie, bear with me because Matt's in the control room back there. Let's see if this is going to work. Is it going to stay there?
No.
Maddie, I need for you to like put a little pause on that. He said he's doing it. Vanessa, talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, I'll take it from here. We can certainly discuss, I think, and it's important to do so. We love talking about the snow totals. Let's talk about the winds. What we've noted tonight is the wind increasing in strength, which is exactly what we expected. Winds have already been gusting over the 40-mile-per-hour mark. And as the center of our storm continues to trek in the northeasterly direction, we do expect it to strengthen more, and that's when the winds will pick up even more so. There is the potential with this storm to see winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, especially on the east end of Long Island and also down the Jersey Shore. Anytime you're along the coast, better bet for those stronger winds. But that could, of course, lead to more problems. So winds are certainly a concern. Right now, we see those winds gust to 41 miles per hour in Bayshore, 36 in Belmar, 28 in the city, 35 in Bridgeport. And really, our storm has yet to reach that prime location. It's early tomorrow morning when it's really the closest to us, right off of the east end of the island, and when it's expected to be its absolute strongest or most intense. So we've been watching the pressure drop. You've probably heard about a storm bombing out, which this one is forecasted to do, but it hasn't happened quite yet.
But it's close. It is close,
It is getting very close, Lonnie. So I think by 4 or 5 a.m., I'm hoping that we can finally reach that benchmark.
And listen, and I fixed, or Matt has fixed.
All right, fabulous. Let's talk more totals.
So in the city itself, all right, Battery Park comes in at 11 inches. Central Park, I told you, we just got this reading in, 8.8. New Dorp is 8.6. Washington Heights, 7 inches. Astoria, 6.2. I've got a reading in Queens right now. It's coming in at 8.5, but that was taken at 10 p.m., so I don't have the most recent one. Other snow reports, Shirley, right on the island, you're 10.4. Ridge, 10.1. Santa Marcia's comes in at 9.8.
That's my hometown, Lonnie.
I was just about to say that, Vanessa.
I love when we see it on the map.
Yeah, no. East Hampton comes in 9.5. Valhalla, 8.5. Baldwin comes in at 7 inches even. I can go now to New Jersey. Carlstadt, pretty big number there, 10.5 for you. Freehold, 10 inches even. Howell comes in 9.4. Colts Neck, 9.2. Lakewood, 8 inches. Leonia, 7.7 inches. Do we have more here, or have we gone through the whole gamut of everything?
Do we have Connecticut? Yes, we do.
Connecticut numbers. Do we have? Yes, we do. Shelton, 7.5. New Canaan, 6 inches. Stratford, 6 inches. Reading, 5.5. Wilton comes in at 5 inches. Easton, 2.5. I can tell you that Westport, Connecticut comes in right now at 7.5 inches as well. We're a little bit to the west of Stratford. That's where my whole town is as of right now. But there's quite a bit of snow out there, and there's quite a bit more to come. I know the numbers that we're showing you don't match the big numbers you've been hearing, but that's because I think we're going to make maybe. Vanessa, do you think it's fair to say we could maybe double all the numbers I've just shown you?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's been consistently snowing and sticking since roughly sunset. Yeah. So if we calculate that, right, 7 hours of snow so far, and we're definitely projecting persistent snow for about another 7 hours.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say we could absolutely see some numbers double by the time all is said and done with this storm.
But I do think it's important to note that even though we're looking at like another, let's say 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock with the heart of the storm, it doesn't mean you're going to tap into that heavy snowfall rate the entire time. It's not going to be 6 hours of picking up 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's not how it works. It's going to come in with those heavy waves, and then the snow will taper off a bit into a lighter snow. I don't think over the next 7 hours you're ever going to see the snow. Vanessa, what do you think? I don't think we see the snow stop anywhere. It just
I think
goes back
lulls,
and forth.
right? We'll have significant lulls, but not a total stop. No, not until we get till tomorrow morning, right? After sunrise, north and west, it may come to a wrap earlier than elsewhere.
Yeah,
All right.
So that's what I think too.
We've talked about, Lonnie, right, the potential for blizzard conditions with this storm, and I don't know that we've met the threshold for that anywhere yet.
I've been looking because, look, if you have you had a great graphic you were using earlier, explaining to folks what a blizzard is. I mean, you have to have visibility down to a quarter mile or less. You have to have winds that are gusting at 35 miles per hour for 3 hours, or consistently gusts within that 3 hour time frame. It's maybe not just a full 3 hours of consistently blowing 35, but if you get gusts consistently throughout 3 hours, that would still verify it as a blizzard. We haven't seen that yet, though. That's the whole thing. And when you were showing us before, Vanessa, wind gusts, we see a lot of 35 mile per hour gusts or stronger throughout the entire 7-8 hour period ahead of us.
Yes, we do, but when we check out the visibilities, Lonnie, they haven't been jiving, right? We see only down to half-mile visibilities. So that blizzard warning, while it is still in play, it remains to be seen whether or not this storm officially is declared a blizzard around the tri-state area.
You got a gut feeling? You got a gut feeling, Vanessa?
I am hopeful. But I do want people to stay safe out there. So for the east end of the island, I think that's our best bet
I do too.
For seeing these blizzard conditions.
Yeah, and remember, guys, even though we're calling for the snow to stop long before 6 p.m., 6 p.m. tomorrow is when that blizzard warning is set to expire. Because you can have a blizzard without having the snow falling. It can just pick up the snow that's already on the ground and obscure your vision that way. So that is possible. But again, snow totals are stacking up around here. We'll give you more information as we have it. Vanessa and I are here. Boy, until the morning crew comes in, Vanessa.
That's right.
So we're with you, for the next 2-3 hours, and we'll be here, guys, giving you the very latest.
This has been a First Alert Weather Special Report.